Okay.
Okay, it's time for our international student. CISCA's master thesis oral defense. And it's a very special oral defense because we use teleconference, okay, to have CISCA's master thesis oral defense. Okay, CISCA, can you
Okay,
help?
Professor.
Can you hear
Yeah,
us? Okay,
yes.
are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Okay.
20
Okay.
minutes.
Yeah, roughly,
Okay.
okay, in 20 to 30 minutes.
Okay. Thank you, Professor, for this opportunity. My name is Iskaning Das Probasari. I come from Indonesia. I would like to present my master's thesis under the title of Factors Associated with 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding among employed mothers after returning to work in Karanganyar Regency of Central Java, Indonesia. So the outlines of this presentation are introduction, literature review, methodology, result and discussion, and conclusion. And then the breastfeeding is widely known for short-term and long-term health benefits for babies and the mothers. Breastfeeding is associated with decreasing incidence and severity of infectious diseases such as diarrhea, ear and respiratory tract infections. And for WHO recommends breastfeeding that newborn babies should breastfeed for 6 months without providing other food or feed, except vitamins, minerals, and drugs that have been allowed for medical reasons. And then the rate of exclusive breastfeeding in Central Java in 2016 was 54.2%, in 2017 55.7%, and in 2018 is 64.19%. And in Indonesia itself is 65.16% in 2018. And then the rate of exclusive breastfeeding in Central Java, the highest rate is in Magelang City with the 87.2%, and in Temanggung City with the lowest rate with the 8.4%, and in Karanganyar Regency is 22.82%. And based on Central Java Health Profile 2018, that many companies that employ women do not provide opportunities for mothers who have babies 0 to 6 months to carry out exclusive breastfeeding as evidenced by the unavailability of lactation rooms and supporting devices. And this is the research purpose of this study. The first is to examine breastfeeding friendly workplace practice. And then second is to examine personal factors related to exclusive breastfeeding mothers returning to work. And the third is to examine factors relating to support for exclusive breastfeeding from family, friends, and also significant others. And this is the research question of this study. The research questions are the first, what is the relationship between exclusive breastfeeding and breastfeeding friendly workplace practice? And then what personal factors are related to attitudes toward exclusive breastfeeding? What is the relationship between social support and exclusive breastfeeding among employed mothers returning to work? And which factors predict exclusive breastfeeding among employed mothers returning to work? And for the literature review, for the exclusive breastfeeding, the infant receives only breast milk, no other liquids such as tea or herbal preparations or food are given, not even water, with the exception of oral rehydration solution or vitamins, mineral, or medicine in liquid form. And then for the factors related to exclusive breastfeeding, there are some factors. The first is personal factors that include of age, marital status, mother's education, monthly family income, parity, attitude, mode of delivery, breastfeeding experience. And then the second is workplace friendly factors. The workplace organization support, manager support, coworker support, time support, and also physical environment support. And the third is social support factors, which include of support from family, friends, and also significant others. And this is the conceptual framework of this study. The personal factors, the breastfeeding friendly workplace factors, social support factors which influence 6-month exclusive breastfeeding. And the methodology of this study, I used descriptive correlational design, and this study was conducted at primary healthcare centers in Karanganyar Regency with 208 employed mothers. And for the statistical analysis, I used independent t-tests, chi-square, and binary logistic regression, and the study design was approved by an institutional review board. And for the instruments, the demographic characteristic I used were associated with exclusive breastfeeding in pair studies, exclusive, and then with the 7 items. And for the exclusive breastfeeding, by WHO definition, I used 1 items. For the infant feeding attitude scale, 17 items. And breastfeeding and employment study with the 41 items. And for the multidimensional scale of perceived social support with the 12 items. And the red number indicate the reliability of this study. And for the result and discussions, for the demographic characteristic, the majority of participants in the study had senior high school education or above at 81%. And then for the mother's salary or income, over 60% of mothers met 1,833,000 or above. And this number is cut off that defines poverty. The poverty line is different for each regency. And then for the majority of participants were multigraphida or had more than one child at 61%. And then in this study, most participants had previous breastfeeding experience at 61%, and a majority had vaginal deliveries at 63%, and 74% of the participants exclusively breastfed their children. And then this table is relationship between personal factors and breastfeeding types. In this table, there are demographic characteristics, and for the demographic variables in this study were not significantly correlated with the exclusive breastfeeding. And this table is relationship between social support factors and breastfeeding types. No one of the categories of social support were significantly correlated with the breastfeeding practice. And this one is for the relationship between breastfeeding workplace friendly factors and breastfeeding types. There are 4 variables which had significant correlation with the exclusive breastfeeding. The first is organization support with the p-value 0.004, and then manager support with the p-value 0.41, time support with the p-value 0.003, and environment support with the p-value 0.047. And this one is factor associated with adherence to 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding. According to the result of binary logistic regression, 3 factors were associated with 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding. There are friend support with the p-value 0.045, significant other support with the p-value 0.14, and BST or breastfeeding employment study for breastfeeding friendly workplace with the p-value less than 0.001. Even though support from friends was significant, but the result was negatively associated with the 6 months of exclusive breastfeeding. This finding was in agreement with the result of study conducted by Septiani et al. 2017, Ariani, Ariesca, and Elsovera 2019, which likewise showed that the support from friends did not improve the mother's ability to provide exclusive breastfeeding. But it's different with the study conducted by Astutic 2018, that the support from friends were significant in positive way. The different result might be to the different characteristic of the respondent. In that study, the subject of the respondent were mostly health workers, and the friend in the study were not. And also, the support from friends refers to people who will listen to the problems. And in my questionnaire, did not specify types of problems. For example, the problems with the breastfeeding. And then this one is the result of the binary logistic regression showed that the mothers with the support from organization manager, time, also environment are more likely to have exclusive breastfeeding practice than those who doesn't have support. Also, this result showed that the p-value less than 0.001, which means that breastfeeding friendly workplace support has a significant correlation with the practice of exclusive breastfeeding. This finding also similar with the study conducted by Levi, Takfon, and also Taran 2015. Also, the barriers to exclusive breastfeeding in the workplace mostly are the lack of private lactation space and then lack of flexible schedule or time and also bad relationship with the coworkers or the supervisor. And similar finding by Septian et al. 2017 showed that the manager support has significant relationship toward practice of exclusive breastfeeding. Support from managers include of support for combining breastfeeding and work, and then giving adequate time to breastfeed or pump breast milk. And for the previous study mentioned that the working hours was associated with the practice of exclusive breastfeeding. The study conducted by Nova Yalinda 2012, Wendy Ranti, Subagyo, and also Wijayanti 2017. Some workplaces provide lactation space and refrigerator, but give limited time to express breast milk. Although but this study is different with the study conducted by Sari et al. 2015. Although the organization or the employee already understood about the advantage of breastfeeding, there were still no effort made to support the exclusive breastfeeding program in the workplace. The possible reason might be the employment rules and also regulations, such as maternity leave, and employed mothers have less opportunity to stay at home, compromising exclusive breastfeeding, and also lack of child care facilities close to the workplace. And in Indonesia, since 2012, there are regulations promoting breastfeeding during working hours. This regulation actually supported by the Ministry for Women's Empowerment and then the Ministry of Manpower and Migration and also Ministry of Health. But the implementation of this regulation is not known or their effectiveness has not been evaluated. And Nova Yalinda 2012, Yim Yam and Hanpa 2014 said that the breastfeeding friendly workplace policies can greatly influence women's success at exclusively breastfeeding their infant. And for the significant others support, the significant other support in the study include health workers and also the husband. Support from significant others were significantly correlated with the practice of exclusive breastfeeding. In a study conducted by Rosita 2016 and also by Umami and Margawati 2018, it said that the support is significant that the support from significant other was significantly correlated with the practice of exclusive breastfeeding. Uh, in other words, that women reported more support from significant others were more likely to breastfeed exclusively than those who had less support. And also, the statistical results showed this association was quite strong with the significance of 0.014. And and the health workers have a particular strong influence on the success of exclusive breastfeeding. This might be counseling given by the health workers on a regular basis to mothers since pregnancy. And also, the husband play an important role in practicing exclusive breastfeeding by encouraging their spouse, having a positive attitude, and providing emotional support as well as their involvement in decision making. And then for the conclusions, limitations, and recommendations. The first is lack of support was the dominant predictive factor that undermined exclusive breastfeeding. It could potentially derail the exclusive breastfeeding. Also, breastfeeding-friendly workplace factors were significantly associated with the successful breastfeeding. Support which come from the company where they work, such as organizational support, support from manager, having time available for breastfeeding, and also a breastfeeding appropriate environment are essential for the employed mothers. And support from husband and health workers contribute significantly to success exclusive breastfeeding. And for the limitations, even though this study has several strengths, including a reasonable large sample size and use of well-established instrument, it also have several limitations. The first is high risk of selection bias, because the respondent in the study work in the government offices, some of which already conform to breastfeeding-friendly workplace guidelines, and the rest work in the well-known big companies with many employees rather than in small shops. Future research could include a wider range of workplaces, such as smaller businesses and schools. Moreover, it will be informative to clearly identify the types of work the women were engaged in. And also the second is like skull questionnaire offer predetermined response. Live interview make establish better report than elicit more detailed and honest response of the respondent. And then for the recommendation, the first is for the government. The government agencies should conduct routine evaluation of workplace, and also the government and health workers should help employers comply with the exclusive breastfeeding policy, and design outreach programs to educate workers and management about the exclusive breastfeeding for working mothers. And then the recommendations for health providers. Health workers must conduct outreach into workplace, and also the government should pay health workers extra for visiting companies. And for the health education recommendation for society, public service announcement on television and radio, leaflets, and using the internet promote the health knowledge. And also breastfeeding education should be provided to the community and families in order for them to better support working women who are breastfeeding. And then recommendation for the companies. Companies are expected to create a working environment that support exclusive breastfeeding through the provision of breastfeeding facilities in the workplace and via work policies that enable female workers to practice exclusive breastfeeding. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you.
Recording the comments of the committee members. So can anyone
Use your serial phone
Right.
to.
Well, I just asked your friend, make record the committee comments. Yeah, so that you could hear. You may also record the comment also. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and first of all, we may welcome comments coming from Professor Zhou.
Okay. Thank you for Jessica, your presentation. I have some question. Please clarify me. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
Professor.
So the first of all, on the you collected your data in 21 primary health center, right?
Right?
Yes. So is all 21 this center all the collection data by yourself, or do you have any co-worker for you?
I have two person who help me to collect my data.
Or you have a person that help you to collect data? Yeah, but
Yeah.
how did you training them?
The first they follow me how to collect it, and then uh, the first can I explain for the first how I collect my data, Professor?
What? You mean they follow
Uh,
you where to go, or
yeah,
okay?
yeah, they follow me.
Yeah, but you did not write in your thesis. Yes.
Okay,
So, yeah, so maybe you needed to write this part and how you
okay,
training your researchers and how you think about when they collect your data and is make this consistent. Okay.
okay,
Yeah,
Professor.
and another question is,
Okay.
of course, you collect data in primary health center, but why the all working women will come to this primary health center? The reason why they
Actually, the first time they will immunize. They have like a schedule for immunization for their babies.
or for their babies, so they will bring their babies to come,
Uh-huh.
even though they are working, they
Yeah,
still can
yeah,
take a break or take one day
yeah.
off to come.
No, Professor. Actually, the first time I planned that I will collect them when they come to the primary health centers. But it could work. Then I do it by door to door in their homes.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you will have their address and you went to their house. Okay.
Yeah.
Because for your thesis, I did not know how you collect your data. You just say door by door to door, but we don't know you got the
Okay.
data from the maybe primary health center and you have an address and you go there. So maybe
Yeah.
the collection data that part you need to write down. Okay, and then the your instrument for the breastfeeding and the employment, this instrument, and one subscales, the score is for the first four, the score is yes or no, and the other five, the score is a likely scale from is a four scores, and but in the instrument you did not describe how to score them. Yeah, the like the maybe original the author they developed this one maybe for this each subscale maybe they score in different way. Yeah, but I saw you just add all the score added together, all the items added together. But I want to ask is this environmental subscales because they score in different way in inside the one subscales. So can you just add them, or is author who developed this scale they also do like this way? Yeah, you need to
Okay.
describe in here.
Okay.
Otherwise, and also for the social support, I don't know how to score. You also did not write on here, okay? And then for the page 25, you translate one questionnaire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I translate.
which questionnaire
I
you
trans.
translate?
I translate for the demographic characteristic questionnaire, and then also I translate for the BST and yeah, and it and infant feeding.
Okay, so for the breastfeeding friendly place, let's scale you translate, right?
Yeah.
But because you did not write the scale's name in 3.6 on page 25, so I don't know which the scale you translated. Maybe needed to add
Okay.
the scale's name on it. Okay.
Explanation.
Yes, and also you do the two after you translate, you do the two English version. You compare it, and after that, you have a 5 pilot study, right? And after that,
Right.
did you change some item or revise some item?
Yeah.
Okay, so you still need to write on here. Okay, because
Oh.
I did not see here. Okay, and then for your results, for your results, and then on the your table 4.1 on page 33. What is the last part? Breastfeeding C-section.
Oh. Actually, this one is just for helping me to know when they stop breastfeed their children.
But your total number is 208 and 208. So, but here just only have a 16. Less than 6 months
Yeah.
has 8, and 6 months
Yeah.
is 3. Greater than 6 months for the breastfeeding is 5. So I'm not sure what is this
I,
number means or
yeah. I will check it again. But actually, this one is just for help me.
just for
But
help
maybe,
you.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, to
to
come.
know.
Maybe, yeah. Okay, maybe you needed to write incorrect. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and then for your for the data, how you explain this data in table 4.2.1, the breastfeeding and the employment study. How you describe all your data is very good because the working place very support for the exclusive breastfeeding. Is right? Because I saw I added the number is quite good. Like for
Yeah.
example, organization support you totally have a 30 score, and the higher score is 44. So can I say this one is a higher score? And manager support your subject's total score, the mean score is 30, and the higher one is the 48. So if this
Yeah.
score, every subscales are very good, and all is very good.
Yeah. They have good support from the breastfeeding workplace friendly.
Okay, so okay. Then I have a question for the where is the thing? See you. Okay, that is the discussion part I will ask you. And then for your table 4.4, I just want to ask, friends suppose the p-value is 0.045, right? How do you explain this
Yeah.
one? This one is smaller than 0.05, right?
Right.
Okay, but for your discussion part, you say this one is non-significant.
Significant. Yeah.
Okay, so you needed to change
Yeah.
your discussion part.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then for the your data, you need to make sure your tables, the data is also the same as your contents data, because some of them you write is not really correct. Okay. Yeah. For okay discussion on page 44, I have a question for here. For the personal factors, you say because your 208 subjects totally have you can't have 74% employee mother they have breastfeeding exclusively, right? Yeah. And but
Right.
on your contents, you still say the in your study has so many how can I say berries because of my mother because my subject they are working because my subject yeah most of them you describe they are working, but how do you feel 74% is not really good?
It's good, but it's still under the target of my country set up for 80%.
Okay, but because your topic is focused on the working woman, but you always talk about because they are working, so they cannot do exclusive the breastfeeding. Yeah, maybe you need to change it another way because that is your subject, and you focus
Okay.
on this way, and you cannot change it, and you also discussion on this way. That is not really useful for your the discussion and your suggestion. Okay, yeah. So maybe you can change another way to describe this one. And then, yeah. So on page 50, social support, you need to change this one because you said on the brand is non-significant, but this is significant. Okay, need to change this one. And I have the question for the social support, this questionnaire, because on your contents, you mentioned this one. For the family support, husband are not family. And that is
Yeah.
thinking, but how your participants thinking?
Yeah, actually, I explained to the participant about the family is not included with the husband because the husband, their family, I mean for the mother-in-law or their own mother is stay different home with the husband. So they just stay with the husband, not
No,
even
I
with the
mean
family.
for your scale, for social support, this is scale, and the scale did not say, and let's see. Okay,
Uh,
on page 72, like for example, special person, they just say there is a special person who is around when I am in need. But how your participant can understand special person is your content, you say husband and health worker, and my family
mm,
mean my husband.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
because you say, yeah, in your
Yeah.
discussion.
I said to them that for the questionnaire for the special person is include of husband and health workers, and for the family include of the mothers, fathers, mother-in-law or father-in-law, or even grandmothers. Because I decided to separate it because of we they stay different place with the mother. I mean they just stay with the husband and with their children.
So you mean I'm not sure. When you give the subject's data, you will explain this one to them. The special
Mm.
person is mean the health worker and the husband, and the family except the husband, all the family
Yeah,
is like this way.
yeah,
And you explain to everybody.
yeah, yeah. Because in the questionnaire, I said in the questionnaire in Indonesian questionnaire, I said to I explained that for the family except the husband.
Um,
Yeah, because for this questionnaire, they do not have this indicator for the all the subjects. So I am not sure your
Yeah,
subject can totally understand. Special person, that mean is the
husband.
the special person is for my husband and my health worker, and the family except my husband. I'm not sure. So you need to
Mhm.
maybe think about this one. Okay. And my final question is the APA format. And also sometimes you need to change it to the past
Oh,
tense. Okay, for your
okay.
notebook. Okay, that is my.
Okay, Professor. Thank you.
Okay, many thanks to Professor Zhou. And regarding your statistical parts, only the interpretation of your logistical regression. Okay, in page 42. Okay, in page 42. Okay, I have write my interpretation for you. Okay, now your current version. Okay, these paragraphs were written in a very rough way, okay, such as you have three significant independent variable in your logistical regression. I ever mentioned that, okay, for logistical regression user, you need to use different interpretation. Okay, for continuous independent variable and the categorical independent variable. And then now these three significant independent variable are continuous. Okay, so you need to use the interpretation for continuous independent variable, such as friends support. Okay, I remember I ever talked with you. Okay, as one unit increase in friends support, mother, okay, have about, okay, you need to minus one, okay, 12.5% decrease of exclusive breastfeeding. I ever ask you why, okay, because this is very special. Okay, and later you can give me your answer again. Okay, and the second, significant other support as one unit increase in significant other support, mother have the probability of exclusive breastfeeding increased for 28.5%. Okay, and the BEST, okay, as one unit increase in BEST, okay, mothers increase the probability of exclusive breastfeeding increased for 4.3%. Okay, so you need to write it. Okay, you need to write it. Okay, revise your interpretation about your logistical regression. Okay, and at the last, okay, can you tell me? Okay, now I want to hear your explanation about the friends support. Why in your data? Okay, the higher the friends support, the lower of the probability of exclusive breastfeeding.
Yeah, actually it was negative result, right, Professor? And maybe because of uh, the 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 questionnaire. I mean, for my questionnaire, I'm not very clearly asking about the problems of breastfeeding, just for the problems. So it might be they just sharing what the problems, not just only the breastfeeding.
Okay,
You
so
get my word?
I have saw the face of your friends. Okay. Okay, try to explain with care. Okay, and the other minor part is such as the use of stars. Okay, in page 41. Okay, such as p-value equal to 0.004 should be used the 2 star, and also for the time support. Okay, 0.003. Okay, you should use 2 star. Okay, this is just the minor parts. Okay, okay, that is my comments.
Thank you,
Advisors.
Professor.
Okay, thank you for the comments. I think for the social support part, your explanation is not quite okay because you cannot count friends is not the social person cannot count only count the husband and other person family not including husband. I think that is not the questionnaire the original author's needs. So you cannot use your own mean to expand this questionnaire. You need to go back to the questionnaire and look at the original author, what are the author's definitions. So I think this part we need to change the discussion part and rethinking about the support part. Or maybe if you think this is too difficult to explain why the friend is negative with your exclusive breastfeeding, you may
Yeah.
either use the full scale instead of the subscale.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So since this for your study, the most important part is your working place friendly. So maybe social support
Yeah.
is one of you just controlling for your for the compoundings. So your study end of is concerned with the workplace friendly. So maybe for the social support, is use the total score instead of